Magazine, The Radio Show, the show about our exciting Pacific West Conference. The PacWest is made up of NCAA Division II universities from Arizona and Utah to California and Hawaii. It's the most beautiful and diverse athletic conference in the entire NCAA. This is Commissioner Bob Hogue, inviting you to join our outstanding coaches, student-athletes, and administrators as we talk about the great excitement in the PacWest. Now here's Assistant Commissioner Tom Camillo, live from our studios in Santan, Arizona.
Hello, hello, hello. Noontime and the Valley of the Sun. Tom DiCamillo, Joe Carrero. This is PacWest Radio, and we are live in the Santan Valley, but broadcasting throughout the Pacific Rim. It's great to say that, Joe, that the Pacific West Conference has grown, and we have 14 institutions, although we will be losing Grand Canyon University, which... congratulations to them. They're going Division I and moving to the Western Athletic Conference next year.
Division I. What I mean, that's how you. That's a good way to lose them, though, right?
It's they've been
we hate to lose them, but they're going up into the higher ranks. Is that correct?
Yeah, they were an integral part of this conference and helped it grow to what it was, and we wish them the best of luck. And Keith Baker, the AD, they're a great guy, and their sports information people, Mike McNally, Steve Heath, Morgan Ballard, all terrific individuals, and we wish them the best of luck. They are in, obviously, for the rest of this year. But the big thing about Grand Canyon is their volleyball team.
Oh,
and they are in Hawaii right now, and Laia.
And loving it, I'm sure.
They're there for business, and along with BYU Hawaii, the NCAA Division II National Championship for women's volleyball is a 64-team field broken into 8 different regions of 8 schools. There are 8 institutions right now in Laie in Hawaii. BYU Hawaii is number 1 in the region. They are the host for this regional tournament, and Grand Canyon is number 2, so they're the 2nd seed, and we're going to go live to Hawaii on the north shore of Oahu. We're going to start with Chris Neighbor, the head coach at Grand Canyon. Then we're going to talk with Wilfred Navalta, the head coach and coach of the year in the PacWest for BYU Hawaii. And then Scott Lowe, the sports information director, who's had an extremely hectic couple of weeks. He does the PR for the Maui Invitational, and where Chaminade upset University of Texas in men's basketball about 2 weeks ago, and then also a little over a week ago. And then now he is hosting not only basketball games, but he is hosting this regional tournament. But right now it's a little after 9 o'clock on Oahu, and Chris Neighbor, the head volleyball coach at Grand Canyon, is going to join us here shortly. And we're going to talk about what's going on. Grand Canyon, again, one of 8 teams in the region that are competing in this regional tournament, the NCAA Division II West Region. West Region is comprised of schools in the western United States, and I think that the schools range from the CCA, which is the California Collegiate Athletic Association, all the schools in California, then the Great Northwest Athletic Conference, which has schools in Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Washington, and actually in British Columbia, and then the PacWest, which is really the southwestern United States into Hawaii, Southern California, and into regions of Northern California, the Bay Area. So 8 teams have been picked for the tournament, and the tournament's going to get underway. It's actually going to get underway in a few hours at noontime in Hawaii, and our first match will feature Central Washington against Cal State San Bernardino. That'll be at 12 o'clock, and then at 2:30, San Francisco State will take on Grand Canyon University. Again, that match is scheduled for 2:30 today, and then tonight, BYU Hawaii is taking on UC San Diego at 7:30 Hawaii time. That's 7:30 Hawaii time, which will be 10:30 our time here in Arizona, and that'll be great. And joining us is Chris Neighbor, the head coach of the Grand Canyon University women's volleyball team. Chris, welcome to the program live from Hawaii.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Chris, I know this has been a special year for the volleyball team. You guys have had a tremendous season. Can you talk a little bit about, and I know last year you guys were in a regional, but to be ranked number 2 and then to have a sister institution in the conference ranked number 1, to be considered the PacWest, the top 2 teams in the region come from the conference, what does that mean for the PacWest volleyball?
Well, I think obviously our the caliber of our teams are getting stronger. We're obviously performing at a higher level. We feel like, we both of us had some good wins at the beginning of the season, which helped us be in the place that we are right now. And I think the teams coming in from Southern Cal, and Fresno Pacific, I think those teams that come in the conference have helped our strength of schedule also. So I think there's a lot of factors. I think teams are getting better. I know my team, in fact, is, more experienced. Obviously, maturity and experience, it has to go along with it. You have to recruit skill, but you can't teach experience. So I think for us, that was, a huge part of why why we are where we are right now. But I think the competition's gotten a lot better too.
When you go into a playoff situation like this, and there's 8 teams, and you're going to an institution, and in the past it might have been in Southern California. Obviously, it's a gym you may or may not have played in that season or for several years. But is it a little bit more comfortable, even though it's an opponents like BYU Hawaii is a little more comfortable because you guys go there, have been going there over the last few years, that you know what to expect from BYU Hawaii, the facility, the crowd, that kind of thing?
I think it's a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, I think we were here in September for 10 days, both here and then Hilo. So I think that's an advantage. Our girls, and we had some days off, so there were some fun times in there too when we weren't playing. But so I think the girls had experienced that already, and really when we got on the plane to come to Hawaii on Tuesday, in their minds, we weren't coming to Hawaii. We were coming to BYU, a gym place that we played before, and it was more of a business trip. So I think familiarity has a lot to do with the advantage of it. We'll see how it plays out today, tomorrow, and Saturday. But I feel good going into it.
That's just a really interesting comment, because if you had not gone and played there in Hawaii before, you would have some players that probably had never been to Hawaii. But it's what you're saying is that the fascination and the kind of the lure of Hawaii as a destination for vacation is now, okay, we've done that, and now it's all business. Right. So that must be an advantage then.
Yeah, no, it is. And don't get me wrong, there's still, they still get out to the beach, when I tell them, hey, you've got a half an hour. If you want to go out on Tuesday, you can go. So it's, it's still Hawaii, but I think the mentality right now is, we're here for business, and we got a job to do, and we know where we want to go.
You tell them that if you get by this beach and win, you get to go to another beach in Pensacola.
One game at a time. How about that? Yeah. But yes, that has been mentioned.
Let's talk about your players. Mackenzie Phelps, the libero of the year. She was a Daktronics Division II All-Region first-team winner and All-Conference first-team selection. She just had an outstanding year this year.
She is. And, from last year, she originally, I don't know if you remember, she originally was an outside hitter and had played all the way around in high school and club. And she came in last year, and some things happened, and so we said, hey, you're going to libero for us this match. And she kind of took it and learned it along the way, but by the end of the season, she didn't want to hit. And it was never, hey, we need you to hit, I don't want to hit. She has embraced that libero position, and it's paid off. She obviously has a lot of skills, but yeah, her mindset in the back row is absolutely amazing, and she works hard. She's harder on herself than coaches will ever be on her. So she's a great kid to coach.
Is it harder to go from a position like an outside hitter where you're kind of on the front lines, you're scoring points, you're getting kills, you're doing those things, to becoming a player that really is responsible for defense?
I think for some it would be, absolutely, because, it seems like the game is it's defense. Obviously, you need a great defense, but it's so offensive. And Kenzie could hit for us, if we needed her to. But I think, and that's why I said, for some, I think for her it hasn't been a hard transition. I think the first couple of weeks were kind of figuring out, oh wait, I might not get a hit anymore. But again, she, like I said, she has embraced that back row position, and she takes control of it, and she takes a lot of pride in what she does.
Kristen Preach, also an outstanding season this year. She's third All-PacWest award, second straight first-team honor, averaging over 10 assists and 2.45 digs per set. Talk about what kind of player she is and what it takes to play that position.
It takes leadership, takes a lot of composure. She is outstanding. I mean, the first couple of years she redshirted for us, had some health issues, some knee problems. But again, I talk about work ethic with Kenzie. Kristen has the same thing. She's a self-motivator, and she wants to get better every day. And even yesterday in practice, she's asking questions to, how do I get better? How do I get better? So, potentially, when you look at it, it could be her last match, and she's still getting better in practice before. But she's not satisfied. And as far as, our team, what we value in her is her leadership, her energy. She controls the court. She runs a great offense. And again, I think just an example for the girls to follow.
Well, Chris, we know you got a match coming up today. I think you're playing at 2:30 today. Is that correct? 5:30 Phoenix time?
5:30 Phoenix time, 2:30 here.
And then people can watch that. They can go to the BYU Hawaii Hebs website. You can also check out the PacWest website or the Grand Canyon website, and people will be able to watch the live stream of the event. If you get to the championship match on Saturday night, it's on BYU TV nationwide. People will be able to watch it. So, Chris, good luck this weekend. We're all rooting for a BYU Hawaii Grand Canyon championship for the PacWest.
I wouldn't complain then. Thank you.
All right. Chris Neighbor, head coach of Grand Canyon University women's volleyball. Now we're going to jump to Wilfred Navalta, the head coach at BYU Hawaii, head coach of the year, and he has an opportunity to host the West Region tournament. BYU Hawaii, just an unbelievable season this year. The Seasiders 21-3 on the year. And the top seed in the West Region. They were dominating throughout the season in the PacWest, and they have some outstanding players in Ying Chung Chen and Shi Ting Chen, who have flip-flopped some honors this year. Shi Ting Chen was the PacWest Player of the Year for the second straight year. Ying Chung Chen was the Daktronics West Region Player of the Year. So Wilfred Navalta joining us here on PacWest Radio. Wilfred, congratulations on your Coach of the Year honor and also for getting to host the West Region. It's got to be exciting on the North Shore today.
Oh, yes. Yesterday we had the coaches meeting, and I felt all of the coaches were glad to be in Hawaii, and they're raring to go. So we're honored to host the West Region.
Wilfred, what's it mean for the BYU Hawaii program and the PacWest in general to be able to host this tournament and have all those schools fly to Hawaii to compete on your home court? What's that mean?
Well, I think from a state standpoint, Hawaii, the volleyball fans here in Hawaii really, enjoy good volleyball. We have good volleyball programs. University of Hawaii, of course, is going to their region. And from that standpoint, we draw a lot of interest, and especially, of course, coming on campus. With BYU Hawaii, we also North Shore, nice, close to the ocean and everything. So the fans are going to be really a treat for good volleyball, especially with Grand Canyon us representing the PacWest and, of course, the schools up the north and of course, the California schools, too. So it's going to bring good positive publicity for volleyball, for the PacWest, and, of course, for BYU Hawaii also.
When, it's always exciting when something's about to start. And as these tournaments progress, you get down to the last night, it's just the last two schools. But in some ways, today's got to be some of the most exciting, or maybe the most exciting day, because you have every school, all 8, competing starting at noon your time all the way throughout the day. And that just got to make for a fun atmosphere if you like volleyball.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know I've talked to some people in the community that normally, would not attend our matches, but once they heard about the regionals, they're coming out to see good volleyball. So the teams are raring to go, and the coaches, I can tell, have a very competitive spirit, and they're very appreciative for the NCAA hosting it here in Hawaii.
You guys also have a unique situation. Not many schools have this ability, but because of the nature of the faith-based school, the institution that you have BYU TV, which is going to be televising those matches. You can watch it on the internet, but you can also watch it like here in Arizona. I mean, we have the station. It's in a prominent spot. That's going to bring a lot of exposure for Division II, for BYU Hawaii, for volleyball, for the student athletes. That's really a coup for your volleyball program to be able to broadcast that live around the world.
Yeah, that's great for BYU and of course our faith, the LDS Church, and is really sponsoring, making an opportunity, for the members of our church, but not only the members of our church, but for worldwide people to see good volleyball and see what BYU Hawaii is all about. But the main thing is that we have the aloha spirit, welcoming, the coaches and the players to Hawaii so they can have a good, positive experience as a student athlete.
Do you think the Polynesian Cultural Center is going to get some uptick in business with all these teams and their families coming over to see that? And you're laughing because that was my first stop when I came there.
Well, the problem is, the PCC, the Polynesian Culture Center. I'm pretty sure they'll maybe stay. Maybe the family or friends, will stay and have a chance to see the Polynesian Culture Center and have a good Polynesian experience here. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll help with attendance at the PCC also.
Let's talk about Shi Ting Chen, who was named the PacWest Player of the Year for the second straight year, all PacWest first team for the second straight year. You have her, then Ying Chung Chen, who was actually the Daktronics Division II West Region Player of the Year, and then Lauren Hagemeyer, who earned her third straight all PacWest first team selection. I mean, these three are as dominating at Division II on one team as you'll find.
Well, the thing about it, they have, great attitudes. They're great students, good people, with some outstanding volleyball, talent. And, they deserve all the honors and the recognition. And we definitely those three. But, again, it's a team sport, so we need all six and the reserves ready to play to be successful. So, yeah, it's a good recognition for them. They deserve it because of all their hard work and their dedication, sacrifice, for the program and themselves.
You ended up with 6 all-conference players, which was tops in the conference. Let's talk about some of the other ones because obviously you get the big three, and they get a lot of the ink and publicity. But like you said, it's a team sport, and you had Michelle Tavaga, who had an outstanding season. Erfang
Right.
Sue, let me make sure I'm saying that right, and Melanie, and I'm going to let you say her last name, who's your libero. All three of them have had outstanding seasons.
Yeah. Well, I think our players, whatever recognition, each of the players receive, I know, because I've been there many times, each of the players just appreciate and they feel happy for each other. The players understand that each one of us, the players, have a specific role. And so they play within themselves, they play their role, and whoever gets the recognition, we're just happy for them. So I think this is where I think that we have a good chemistry and appreciation and love for each other on the team.
We had you on the show, maybe about 6-7 weeks ago, and we talked about turning points in your season. And we talked about that opening tournament that you went up to in Minnesota and the success that you had and played some of the top teams in the nation that are in the NCAA tournament right now. And you pointed that as a really good learning experience and helped. Now, looking today, when you start this regional, how important was it to start the season in that tournament to get you where you are today?
Well, there's no question. I'm grateful for, Brady, for inviting us, to go up to Concordia. So Concordia, Southwest, they're an outstanding team. And, of course, throughout the year, they've been 1, 2, and sometimes Kearney, so that experience has really helped us. And I know that experience has helped us to improve, but I know also they've definitely improved, too, because, they have a tough conference. They'll have a very tough regional, too. Only one of them will come out of the tough region.
Wow.
but that definitely helped us to kind of set our sights as was what we needed to do.
When you look at you guys, number one, you get to host, obviously, but how important or how much of an impact? And I asked Chris Neighbor the same thing. Having Grand Canyon number 2 means the PacWest is 1-2 in the entire region. What does that say about PacWest volleyball right now?
Well, there's no question we're on the rise as far as volleyball talent and skills. Being 1 and 2, definitely there's a sign that we're definitely improving in the quality of the teams. The new teams coming in, there's no question about it. With Fresno Pacific is a great program. Point Loma, the past of storied program. So those teams that are coming in, Holy Names and Azusa Pacific, it's just going to get more competitive, and I think it's good for the PacWest, and it's very good for the student athletes who might want to think of, being consider the PacWest teams. So I think it's great opportunities for the players to look at our conference.
Do you change any of your routines because this is a tournament, all these teams are here, or do you just tell your players it's just another game, it's just another match?
Well, I told them, I cautioned them, before our practice last night. I said, make sure you guys stay within your own routine. We have a meeting at 6:15. Everybody have a different, way that they prepare. So I said, don't get tempted to come here and watch and tire yourself out and forget about your individual preparation. So I said, you follow your own preparation as if we're playing a regular match at 7:30. And so I know they're all hyped up. The girls want to be there, they want to watch, but I told them, take care of yourself first. And so stay within your own routine. And I told them, I'm going to set my routine. I'll get up at 5. I'll walk with my wife for about 45 minutes. I'll hit the golf course, play golf with my friends for 9 holes. I'll come back, work out on the weights, and that's my same routine too. So coaches have to have their own routine, and it's nice to be at home that we can do that.
Is today the toughest day because of the whole sort of the pomp and circumstance and everything going on around with all these teams? Is it the hardest day? Because once you play today, then you play tomorrow, and the next day it's back into the routine of playing games. But is today the hardest mentally?
Well, yeah. The thing about it is it's a do or die. You lose and we stay in paradise. This is what's going to happen. But other teams, they lose, they got to go back home. But for us, it is the toughest day because, like you said, all the hype, all the tension, everybody's all excited, and this is where everybody has to kind of calm down. I think that the team that can calm themselves and play at their level with the most, of course, they'll be the most successful. The ones that too hyper intense, they're going to have to fight it to find the game so they can perform at a really smooth and confident level. There's no question about it's going to be tough for all the teams.
Well, Wilfred, we wish you the best of luck. We thank you for taking the time out on this day, and hopefully we didn't break your routine up too much. And then good luck, and we're hoping to see a Grand Canyon BYU Hawaii championship on Saturday night.
All right, thanks. Aloha.
Aloha. Wilfred Navalta, the head coach of BYU Hawaii, and great words of wisdom, keeping with the routine. And then we're going to grab Scott Lowe, the sports information director, jack of all trades at BYU Hawaii. We are going to grab him for just a few minutes. He's extremely busy, and we're going to talk to him about preparing for something like this, but also his role in the Maui Invitational last week. And he's got 2 basketball games on Saturday that had to be moved, which will be played during the day. So this is a long couple of weeks for Scott Lowe and those in the sports PR field, and the hardworking people that are behind the scenes. And Scott Lowe, Scott, welcome to PacWest Radio.
Well, thank you, Tom. Glad to be here.
So we are not going to keep you long because I know how busy it's been, not just now, but before, and what it'll be in the next few days. Let's quickly talk about what does this mean for BYU Hawaii to be able to host this tournament?
Well, there's really 2 things that it means. First off, it means a lot to the team just in terms of this is their home court advantage. Every team likes to be able to play on their home court, sleep in their own beds. They're more comfortable. So on the team basis, it means that we have the advantage because we're playing at home, and that's always critical in athletics. The other thing that it means to BYU Hawaii is as an institution. We get to showcase the institution for the NCAA and the visiting schools. It's an opportunity to show what we can do in terms of hosting a tournament and being good hosts.
I know you were involved with making the arrangements, but this is something unique is that you're going to have several of these matches televised live on BYU TV, which goes a lot of places around the world. So talk about that. That's a really unique thing for a Division II institution to have that opportunity.
Well, it really is, and we're really grateful to BYU Television to allow us to do that. BYU Television it does go worldwide into, it's on DirecTV, it's on Dish Network, and it's in over 600 cable systems, and it also is beamed to the LDS churches worldwide. They can pick it up. All of our churches worldwide have satellite dishes tuned to BYU TV's satellite, and so it gives us a huge audience, number one, and number two, it gives us a chance to show off not just BYU Hawaii, but the entire PacWest Conference when we have these games. I've been told by visiting coaches from the PacWest that they love it because it actually helps their recruiting, because other people get to see their school as well as us. And so this is really an exciting thing, not only for BYU Hawaii, but for the whole PacWest Conference to have these games worldwide.
So your match tonight will be on 7:30 Hawaii time. For those wanting on the mainland, it would be 8:30 on the West Coast, 7:30 in the Mountain Time Zone. I'm sorry, going the other way. 9:30 in California and 10:30 in the Arizona and Utah, the Mountain Time Zone. And then you're going to televise the last game each day, correct? That's how that's going to work?
That's correct, and that is regardless of whether or not BYU Hawaii moves on, because we had to secure these time slots with BYU Television, and Tom, as you know, television are really time sensitive. They need to have an idea of what they're going to put on in terms of programming, and so we had to lock up these time slots regardless of whether BYU Hawaii advances. And so whoever plays in the 7:30 p.m. match on Friday night in the second semifinal, it will be shown on BYU Television, and, of course, the championship match at 7 p.m. Hawaii time on Saturday.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it because obviously on the Cox network that I have here in the Santan Valley, BYU TV is on, and I've frequently had a chance to watch basketball and some of the other sports that you guys were able to secure on those. But this is extremely exciting. From a PR standpoint, what kind of impact has there been interest from the media in Hawaii? Is it just the fans, the community? Wilfred said he's getting mentioned that people are coming out that haven't come out before that are really excited about this.
Yes, it's been a long time since BYU Hawaii hosted a volleyball regional. I think it was 1999, the last time we actually hosted an NCAA volleyball regional tournament.
Wow.
At the Division II level here in Hawaii. And so it's gotten people really excited because Hawaii is a volleyball crazy state. It's one of the most volleyball crazy states in the nation, and the University of Hawaii, of course, is highly ranked in Division I, and people are excited about them. But they're playing on the road; they have to play their tournament on the mainland, and so we are the best show in town for volleyball right now, and it's gotten a lot of people excited. We expect a good turnout for our matches tonight.
That'll be extremely exciting, and I know you're busy, and we want to let you go. I do want to touch on you have a significant role in the Maui Invitational that Chaminade appears in. Can you talk about your role and talk about that victory that Chaminade had over Texas right before Thanksgiving?
Well, I've been for the last 15 years, I've been the media room coordinator over there and run the media room for the Chaminade Invitational. I actually take vacation days from BYU Hawaii, and I'm not working for Chaminade when I go over there. I actually work for Kemper Sports Marketing, who puts on that tournament and does an outstanding job. But that Texas game with Chaminade was very huge for Chaminade and for the PacWest Conference, because Texas actually was ranked 26th in the nation. They were just the next team outside the top 25 in the national poll going into that tournament, and were one of the favorites for the tournament, and were expected to really put on a show. And Chaminade was able to compete very well against them, and actually controlled the game throughout. It was not, a fluke win. Sometimes a Division II team kind of gets sneaky and gets lucky at the end of the game against a Division I team and wins. But Chaminade totally earned that win and dominated Texas in that game. I'm sure there are people who would say Texas had a bad game, but still, it's a Division I program, very highly touted program, and a great win for Chaminade, who played extremely well in the tournament and had DeAndre Haskins named to the all-tournament team. And so it's big for Chaminade, and that reflects well upon the PacWest as well.
Well, it was interesting because I believe, wasn't Texas up like 8-0 to start the game? Didn't they start?
Yeah, they had an early lead, but it was all Chaminade after that.
It wasn't even that close in the second half. It was 19 points for a lot of the second half when it was going on. So,
like I said, Chaminade controlled the game. It was not a fluke win for Chaminade. It was a solid, well-played, well-coached victory for the Silver Swords.
So I want to go back before I let you go here to the volleyball. Your role today, you're going to be busy all day today, but it's not just today. You had the 4 matches today. You'll have 2 tomorrow. You guys had to move your basketball, the opening conference games, from a nighttime to a daytime on Saturday to accommodate the volleyball championship. So your next 3 days are going to be living in the arena.
Well, that's kind of standard practice for a sports information director, especially one who's also an assistant AD in charge of game management. So, yes, I was here early this morning turning on the lights in the gym, getting things ready, and, there's paperwork to be done. At the time you called me, I was sitting here doing a stats comparison of the teams in the tournament so that the media and the broadcasters will have information so that they can see how each team stacks up statistically against one another, and there's just a million things to do. And I will probably also be doing some of the internet streaming broadcasts, and at least on Friday night's BYU television game, I'll be the play-by-play person on that. So, yeah, I have a lot to do, but it's a lot of fun. Working with collegiate athletes in college sports it's more play than it is work.
Well, Scott, we're going to let you go. We wish you the best of luck this weekend, and we will look forward to seeing you on BYU TV when you get a chance to do that. And let people know they can watch the games live that are not on the BYU TV because they're going to be streamed, correct?
That's correct. We will have live video with audio streaming of all the games.
And they can find that link on your website or at the PacWest website to connect to those. Scott, good luck over the next 3 days. I'm sure we'll be in contact, and we appreciate you taking a few moments to join us.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Have a great day.
Thanks. Scott Lowe, Sports Information Director, Jack of all trades, Assistant Athletic Director at BYU Hawaii, getting ready for the NCAA Division II Volleyball Regional hosted by the Seasiders up on the North Shore of Oahu. I'd like to thank Wilfred Navalta, the head coach of BYU Hawaii, and Chris Neighbor, the head coach at Grand Canyon University, both joining us. The only way those two teams can meet, Joe, are in a championship on Saturday night, and hopefully they will, and you can check them out on BYU TV. For Joe Carrero, I'm Tom D. Camillo. We'll catch you next week on PacWest Radio.
Hi, this is Daniel, your host for Rock and Roll 101, every other Sunday at 5 on KQCK.